Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Chris Unbias. If you checking in, man, Hoffa vs. Chilla Jones dropped on Don't Flop. One of my favorite battles that dropped this year, man. I don't use the word classic too much, but this was definitely a very, very good battle. I got it in the classic category, but for these two battle rappers, man, they give you 3 good rounds, and then the crowd is really what made this battle a classic. I think we got to salute Don't Flop. They really got the best crowds in battle rap. Let's just keep it real. They got the best crowds in battle rap. There's so much diversity in the crowd, man. Everybody show you love. And I'm not just saying that because it's Atlanta. This is like pretty much any Don't Flop crowd. They just show you a lot of love, man. If you took this battle and put it on a known URL stage, it would never be appreciated. And that's the problem with big crowds. So definitely shout out to these two, man. And after watching this battle, man, I realized they both need to be back on URL. Both of them. Mav, I definitely want to see his return back to URL. I was talking to one of the URL sponsors, and he was saying he was trying to get Mav back on URL very, very soon. And I think URL will bring him back, just depending on what card it is and what matchup makes sense or whatever. But I do see Mav coming back to URL. As far as Chilla Jones, he needs to come back too. To be real with you, I want to see Chilla Jones versus Newborn. I know that's not a battle URL will probably set up, but I wouldn't mind Chilla versus Red. Chilla versus, it's a few matchups I wouldn't mind. Even Chilla versus Lada Zay, if we finally can get that, I would definitely wouldn't mind him coming back to URL. Last time I talked to Beasley about Chilla, he didn't have nothing negative to say about him. You know what I'm saying? He just said it was all about matchups and whatever makes sense. So I think they still in good graces with Chilla Jones. So hopefully both of these two are back on URL. Chilla Jones changed his whole style, man. You can't even come at him about being boring and none of that shit no more. Both these two dudes put in a lot of work. As far as this battle though, I got Chilla Jones winning 2-1. I told Mav on Twitter when me and him was going back probably a few weeks ago about who won and why I thought this person won and that person won and what rounds or whatever. And me and Mav might even debate this battle on camera. Like next time I come to New York or whatever, I might go through a few of his battles. But obviously he thought he won, and I'm not saying it was close. It was a close battle, so I'm not even arguing. Like he can argue that he did win the battle. I just went with Chilla Jones. I gave Mav the first round. I thought he came out really well. He had a few little jokes. He got on the T-top shit with URL blocking that battle. He spent a lot of the first round trying to belittle Chilla Jones a little bit, saying like applying it to that girl relationship, saying no top but the pussy's whack or whatever. So
now Ernie is somebody cheap. That's why I'm stuck with you. Last time I had a right for Jones, it got uncomfortable. Last time I had a right for Jones, it got uncomfortable. My pen or bag, whoever you book. It's like I'm up in school, because even back then, I had no respect for a substitute.
Basically trying to, even the way he ended with the slogan about I shouldn't be playing with these lower tiers, that was a lot of his first round. A lot of jokes, a lot of good bars. Pretty much gave you like everything you needed in the first round, saying Chilla was born. He's the reason for a lot of narcoleptic. Chilla's first round, a lot of math flips, mathematics, you know, the pie shit that he said. What else? Just a lot of math references, algebra, arithmetic, a lot of that going on. The Cortez line about the, you'll see, are you gonna see his math on that SAT? That line was crazy. It was probably my favorite line of the battle.
My squad, ready for war with the text they keep. If you sneeze or even take the wrong breath, they squeeze. When that cannon flash, just say cheese. And Cortez gonna have your face on a shirt by the next day. See, but think about those last balls. For trying to test AG, well, all you gonna see is math on that SAT. See this?
So yeah, I gave the first round of Mav. Chilla had a dope first round. All 3 of his rounds was dope, along with Mav. But you know, I hate doing reviews like this because it's almost like you nitpicking on the smallest thing just to try to pick a winner. But he did have a lot of Mav references. We hit out a lot when people battle Mav. So even though the bars around it was crazy, that pie shit he said, that shit was dope. Everything he was saying was pretty much nice, but I still just edged the first round in Mav. I just like, you know, his creativity in that first round, so I gave that first round to him. Second round, Mav comes back, talks about the whole Wu-Tang, Wu God type shit where he was praying about being back on URL. Yo, that shit was funny, especially in the building. It was really funny in the building because he's on he's on Don't Flop and he's just like, yo, I want to be on URL. So just that in general was just funny. And You know, he does talk a lot of trash here and there about URL, and they won't book him for this and book him for that. But then, like, he really fucks with them a lot. And people always telling me, like, yo, I saw Math at Beasley's crib. I think that relationship is still good. And that's why I said I think he'll be back on URL, because at the end of the day, he's pretty much the foundation of URL. So they need, if they're going to make up with anybody in battle rap and bring them back to the stage, it got to be Mav. So that shit was just clever the way he did it. The bubble and coke scheme, he said, was funny with talking about how Chilla Jones be scheming and being on Bankhead or whatever. That shit was hilarious, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big prop dude, but him bringing out the coke and setting it up, that shit was funny. Saying that Chilla Jones should replace Queen Flip because every league he in turns into the quiet room. That shit was funny. Mav had a solid second round, man. Chilla Jones' second round, he got a little bit more real, talking some real shit about how Mav ain't grew up yet and how he's gonna raise his kid if he's invisible or locked behind bars. That shit was crazy. He had an outright scheme about how you can't outright me, but you're not gonna beat me without rights. Like, yo, that scheme was crazy too. He also had that line about how with Disaster and Serious Jones, it was his first time in battles. He had back-to-back punches. That shit was crazy. What they want you to leak pot juice when they bust your core. Yo, Chilla Jones, that nigga pen game is crazy, man. I edged him in the second round too. So going in 1-1, going into the third. Math Hoffa in the third round addressed the Disaster situation, which was crazy. It probably took up about half or 60% of his round, but all the bars around it was fire. That shit where he said for that sunset line, he said, yo, that shit was bananas, my nigga. That shit was dope.
I really want to know the public's belief. Y'all think it's karma or a bitch nigga trying to front with his peeps? How many of y'all think he would have threw that punch in the east? No. Exactly. Son would never disrespect. So to take my shot, son said it in the west. Fuck.
He addressed why he's suing King of the Dot, which was put a price on Diz's head. That shit was crazy. And then he eventually got back into the Chilla Jones bars. Chilla came back. He was addressing Mav suing King of the Dot. A little bit thunder got taken out of that whole Chilla's round and part of Chilla's round, because Mav had pretty much went first and already addressed the reason he was suing King of the Dot to put a price on Diz's head. So when he came back, it took a little bit of steam from what Chilla was saying, because Math addressed it first. So that's just the way, you know, just the way the rounds was written. It just happened to go that way. But I still felt like Chilla edged the third round when he came back with the Bonnie shit at the end about Bonnie would have came back like good posture, and the fucking Drake shit.
Pace and talk about how your ex Bonnie knew Drake. He hit a wrong line and asked her out on a true date to sip wine, have some good convo, choose steak. She told you, watched you hate, and made you lose face. You told her she better not, or you would catch a new case. So she faked agreed, waited for you to leave, then packed a suitcase. You came home, found a piece of paper on your food plate. It was a note that said, if you read
it would have been crazy to see Bonnie in the building. She was supposed to battle my verse. It would have been crazy to see her in the building, because there was a couple battles where her name was referenced on this card, and it would have been dope to see her in the building, just to hear what Math was saying and what Chilla was saying, and then to have her battle my verse in the same building. That shit would have been dope. So I gave the edge in the third round to Chilla Jones. I probably would have gave Math the battle or the third round if he wouldn't have spent so much time at Disaster. But normally when niggas spend half their round devoted to somebody else, they normally end up losing the round unless the other person is just trash. And Chilla Jones wasn't trash. So I think if he had directed his bars towards Chilla in the third, he probably would have won that round. But, you know, he told me he had to get some shit off his chest. It was his first battle back, and, you know, fans will want to know what he thinks on Disaster. So this was his first time being able to express it. So I wasn't really mad that he came that angle, but it kind of cost him a round, to be real with you. So that's where I got the battle, man. 2-1 Chilla Jones. Definitely a dope battle, man. Classic in my opinion. I think both these dudes proved that at any given time, even on a small league, like a Don't Flop Atlanta, which I consider to be small because a lot of battle rap don't even come to Atlanta. Both these dudes showed up, man, and showed out. So salute to both of these. Holla at your boy, Unbias Review.